Some people are lucky to live one remarkable life. This is a story of a man who lived three. He was a daredevil who stared down the limits of flight, a scientist who solved one of aviation's deadliest problems, and a war hero who led a mission so audacious it changed the course of World War II. This is the story of Jimmy Doolittle, perhaps the most important aviator you've never heard of. Imagine flying an airplane completely blind. No windows, no horizon, nothing but the drone of the engine and the glow of the instruments in front of you. In the early days of aviation, flying into a cloud was a death sentence. Pilots would become disoriented, their own senses betraying them and sending them into a fatal spiral. But one man was convinced this problem could be solved, and so on a foggy September morning in 1929, he climbed into a cockpit covered by a hood and did the impossible. Long before he was a scientist, Jimmy Doolittle was a rock star of the skies. Growing up in Alaska gave him a toughness that would define his life, and he was drawn to the thrill of aviation, a world of high speed and even higher risk. In September of 1922, he became the first person to fly across the United States in a single day. The journey took him 21 hours and 19 minutes with only one refueling stop. But breaking records wasn't just his warm-up. Doolittle dominated the world of air racing, winning the prestigious Snyder, Benedict, and Thompson trophies. He set the world speed record for land planes in 1932, pushing his notoriously dangerous GBR1 racer to a blistering 252 miles per hour. He even performed the first ever outside loop, a maneuver so stressful on both pilot and plane it was widely considered suicide. Doolittle's skill was legendary, but he knew that raw talent couldn't conquer every challenge aviation faced. While famous for his daredevil flying, Doolittle's most lasting contribution may have come from his mind. He earned one of the first doctorates in aeronautical engineering in the United States from MIT. He was obsessed with a single problem: flying blind. In clouds or fog, pilots couldn't trust their own senses, leading to spattle, disorientation, and countless crashes. Doolittle attacked the problem systematically. He was central to developing two instruments still in use today: the artificial horizon and the directional gyroscope. These tools gave pilots a reliable visual reference for their plane's orientation. Then, to prove they worked, he became the first pilot to take off, fly a course, and land an airplane only using instruments, without ever seeing outside the cockpit. That single 15-minute flight on September 24th of 1929, it changed everything, paving the way for the all-weather airline operations we take for granted today. When the attack on Pearl Harbor plunged America into World War II, the nation desperately needed a victory. President Franklin D. Roosevelt demanded a strike against the Japanese homeland, a mission that seemed impossible, but the man chosen to plan and lead this daring raid was none other than Jimmy Doolittle. The plan was audacious: launch of 16 B-25 medium bombers, planes never meant to fly from a carrier, off the deck of the USS Hornet. On April 18th of 1942, Doolittle led his men into history. While the physical damage to Tokyo and other cities was minor, the psychological impact was immense. The raid shattered the myth of Japan's invincibility and gave Americans a massive morale boost. More importantly, it terrified Japanese military leaders. Spooked by this vulnerability, they rushed their plan to attack Midway Island, hoping to lure and destroy America's carriers. That hasty led them straight into an American trap, and the resulting Battle of Midway became a catastrophic defeat for Japan and the turning point of the war in the Pacific. Jimmy Doolittle's story is a testament to how one person's courage and ingenuity can change the world. There are countless other hidden figures in history whose stories are just as incredible. Who is another unsung hero you think deserves more recognition? Let me know in the comments below. After the raid, Doolittle was certain he'd be court-martialed for losing all 16 of his bombers. Instead, he was awarded the Medal of Honor and promoted to 2 ranks to Brigadier General, skipping colonial entirely. He went on to command massive air forces in both Europe and the Pacific. After the war, he continued to shape the future of aviation, advocating for the development of supersonic flight. He was a racer who courted danger, a scientist who made flying safe, and a general who helped turn the tide of a war. Daredevil, inventor, hero, Jimmy Doolittle truly was a man who lived 3 lives.